Everybody, welcome to Malt Music Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric. Up on the bar for today, special uncorking. It's an Irish single malt from the Dingle distillery. This is small batch number 5. As always here on the channel, nose taste finish review coming up of this whiskey. I'll give you a bit of chat about the value. I'll share my final thoughts and give you a preliminary finance score, as we always do with an uncorking of a whiskey. But first, if you haven't, take a second, hit subscribe. You know what to do. Make sure you don't miss these reviews. They drop every Friday here on YouTube, Tuesday happy hours, Tasty Tuesdays, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You don't want to miss those. So hope to catch you on the live stream as well. So Dingle Distillery. It's an Irish. I was quite excited to come across this. This is a independent Irish distillery and one of the, I think, the first independent Irish distillery to open in many decades in Ireland. So that's exciting. Their whiskey, this one here in particular, this is the 5th iteration of their small batch series. This one in particular is bottled at 46.5%, and it is a marriage of 3 different single malts. We have ex-bourbon cask, Pedro Jimenez cask, and Madeira cask. So we got 3 different maturations going on here. It is non-chill filtered, says here right on the label. And the Dingle Distillery, they opened up their doors in 2012, so relatively new, as I mentioned, the first one in a couple decades to open in Ireland in County Kerry. Here is what the tube of Dingle looks like. And here's the bottle, which I also just really, really love. Nice presentation. They have a Dingle Distillery embossed here on the bottom, a little bit of storyline and some art here on the back. I'll tell you a bit about it. This is what it says about this. I will avoid any tasting notes if I see them. Bringing this marriage of bourbon, Pedro Jimenez, and Madeira cask together allows the bourbon cask to release a warm aroma of spices, creating a unique single malt Irish whiskey. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is bottle number 32858. As it says also here, non-chill filter. It has the 3 folks who founded the distillery's signatures here on the bottom. County Kerry, Ireland. Okay, so non-chill filtered, 46.5% ABV, bourbon, PX, Madeira, single malt Irish whiskey. I'm excited to give this a try. Finally, you're hearing many good things about the Dingle Distillery. Cork, wood cork. All right, let's get in the glass. Uncorking, what I'm going to do, I'll do 2 tastings of it neat, and then I'll add water, and then we will get into some final thoughts. And this is the neck pour. Okay, this is what it's looking like in the glass. It does kind of give you that Madeira color. You know, Madeira, whiskeys aged in Madeira do tend to have a bit more of this kind of golden amber color to them. Here we go with the nose. Fruity, very nice, aromatic, a lot of honey, orange, apple, light little pinch of alcohol, perhaps it's citrus, it's tough to tell. You do get a bit of that kind of bready nature of the malt, kind of malt forward nature you get out of some Irish whiskeys. It's definitely here. It's a very light, sweet, fruity nose. And you do detect a little bit of that kind of new make spirit note. There's also, when I say new make spirit, you know, some folks kind of say it's a little bit kind of like concrete, just very cereal grain forward. There's a fresh cut woodness in this as well. Like just chopped right in front of you, which gives a little bit of that kind of carpenter's workshop, sawdust, wood shavings, bit of that in the back, which is bringing a bit forward, a bit of a spice. So yeah, sweet forward with the fruit, honey, the apple, bit of the orange, even more like a tangerine than orange. And then this kind of wood, fresh cut wood shavings. Light hints of bourbon note just in the background. I'm thinking it's more just like vanilla, but very, very slight. Okay, it's good taste. Cheers. Rival is very nice. Sweet fruit. You get a little bit more of the candy red cherry note that you would get. You know, it's one of the things you notice with PX, kind of strawberry. A nice fruit basket. You hit this in the development about halfway through is just this heavy hit of fresh cut wood and oak. Lingering chocolate vanilla there. Sharp. Into a medium finish. It's definitely packing a lot of flavor. And the second sip, it's toned down that oakiness a bit. It is still quite woody and spicy. Ask on the back end of the development here, but it rounds it off a little bit. The Madeira, I think, is and PX are really working to kind of smooth over the edge. There is no age statement on this. I've heard, like, you know, it's maybe in that 5-year range. Medium finish. Getting some now kind of most spice notes that are kicking up here that I didn't quite pick up before. Cardamom. Definitely cardamom. Even maybe a little bit of like a Chinese 5-spice. Okay. All right. Let me put just a little bit of water on this. It is 46.5%. So we are going to just drop, we'll do 3 drops on here. Maybe about a half teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. This is a young whiskey. And so I think it can probably take maybe a bit more water than this. Yeah, it smells very fresh, very new make. With the addition of water, it's actually kicking up that oak spice, that kind of wood shavings even a bit more on the nose, which is kind of, I think that the nose is probably a little bit more interesting, neat. Candied pear, maybe. Palate, spicier now. The wood, the oak spice, very, very intense on the back end. Even hints of like chili pepper. Very raw on the back end of the development. Similar to what it was neat, it's kicked up even more with water. I actually think I preferred this neat. A little bit of white chocolate, a little bit of caramel. It starts out, I think, a bit more exciting than it finishes. Okay, so Dingle, not by any means an exclusive whiskey. You can find this around the United States, and it is getting easier to find. But you might have to hunt around a little bit. These small batch series, they do in different maturations. So some of them are port. There's like a port sherry one, I think was number 4. This one, obviously, PX Madeira. For something like this whiskey, you're really looking at anywhere from around $89 to $100 in US, unless you find it on sale. So, I mean, it is a pricey whiskey. Yes, it is a nice artisanal presentation. I do appreciate what they're doing here, but this is a very young whiskey, so I think I'm going to go medium low on the value here. Okay. So final thoughts here on the Dingle small batch number 5. So first, let's start with the positives. I really like the fact that we have an independent distillery open up in Ireland, first in decades, which is always exciting. They clearly are going for a nice kind of artisanal approach here. I like the craft presentation. It's bottled at over 46%. It's non-chill filtered. They're definitely experimenting with different finishes. It's a single malt. These are all really positive things. I really enjoyed the nose on this. Really nice bouquet of the sweetness contrasting with some of the youthful whiskey. But as it develops, the youthful nature of this does, I think, come through a bit heavier than ideal, in the form of this kind of oak spice and fresh cut wood note that is a little bit off-putting for me personally. And at the price you're paying for this, which is sometimes close to $100, I think at that price point you would probably be a bit disappointed. Age is going to be a great friend to Dingle's whiskeys. I'm really looking forward to trying some of these as they get older. I think that would do a lot. I think that's really the missing element here is it just needs a little bit more age, and it's not quite delivering what you want for a young whiskey. It's not punching above its weight. It is kind of drinking like a young whiskey would drink. So all in all, promising stuff, exciting. I do enjoy the maturation here. I think they use some pretty quality casks, and really excited to see what else comes out of Dingle. So my preliminary final score here on this is going to be a 3 out of 5, which is going to mean, I definitely recommend giving this a try. It's an average whiskey for sure. I just think it's, maybe slightly above average, but I got to dock it for the price because it is just very expensive for what you're getting. Something to keep an eye out for. This might be something that really speaks to you and are really interested in these kind of more younger styles of Irish whiskey. Keep an eye out for it. If not, definitely something worth trying at some point in time. So 3 out of 5 is going to be my score here on the Dingle small batch number 5.